This is Mouth Media Network. Amplify and connect.
The moon landing was real. Aliens may indeed exist. Madonna was once young. And funny people talking, well, the jury's still out.
Hi, I am Alisa Cohn. I'm an executive coach. I live in New York City. And I have a very, very intense interval training program that I do on Thursday mornings with a rower and a kettlebell. And I'd rather be doing that than listening to funny people talking.
Hello everybody, this is Mickey from the Mickey and Billy show from overseas, and I've got a surprise for you here. Until Marc comes here, I'm filling in here with me boy Billy. Say hello, Billy.
Hello, how you doing out there?
Hello.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, well, it's good to be back here in New York City. It's too bad we don't have Melissa Villasenor with us here.
It's been a long time since we had a conversation with her.
Yeah, she's on our Saturday Night's Live now, yeah?
I know, it's very exciting.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we are in New York, and, it's nice, this Math Media studio, so clean.
It's very nice, and there's a bush growing on the wall.
I don't see any reason why we couldn't trash the hell out of this place. Make it our room!
Right. What's the bush doing on the wall?
That's right. Oh, anyway. Oh, here comes the host of the show, Marc. We better get out of here before we fall
Okay, all right. Let's get out of here now.
Back to Westminster.
Back to Westminster. Back to Westminster.
What the hell's going on? Hey, you know what that means, Mickey and Billy? It means something new on this show. You're probably wondering, what the hell was that? That's Mickey and Billy from the Monkey Radio with Marc show that this show is a reboot of. And the reason that Mickey and Billy can exist is because there's someone special in the studio, special to me at least. Unfortunately, Danielle is not able to be here with us because she's over in California, in LA, doing whatever young gifted actors and producers do when they're in LA, I assume. And Elsie is not able to be here today. So instead of me being by my lonesome, hi, everybody, I'm Marc Rako, and this is Funny People Talking. And with me is my very good friend and longtime co-host of Monkey Radio, Mr. Ben Rose, in the studio. Holy cow.
Holy
man.
cow, Marc.
I am so absolutely just slack-jawed you're here, but I'm so appreciative that you're able to make time. And no lie, everybody, I reached out to Ben a few days ago when I found out that Elsie and Daniel couldn't be here. And seriously, Ben moved some things around to be here, and I'm very grateful. Thank you, buddy.
Of course, I'm more than happy to do it. My jaw slacked as well. I'm really happy we were able to make this work.
It's so cool. So with Ben here, we get to do things like Mickey and Billy, and I mean they're real people. But,
yes, yes, of
and
course.
we get to maybe go down a little bit of memory lane and catch up with Ben. If there are any of you former Monkey Radio listeners out there that are now with us on Funny People Talking, Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah
or whatever may have you.
Whatever you may.
Right.
Festivus for the rest
Festivus
of us.
for the rest of us.
All right. So, Ben, you're here. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Yes.
We're going to do 2 shows together.
2.
This one and the next one, or depending on what the order we publish them, the previous one and this one. So
choices.
So anyway, Ben, before we start with the show, I really do have a question for you.
Shoot.
It's very strange because I don't normally see you like this, but I would estimate that there are approximately somewhere between 2 and 3 bendy straws on your person at this moment.
Well, I don't want to make a comment at this time.
Are you under an NDA?
Well, if you want to go ahead and call it that, go ahead and call it that.
Okay.
Can't make comment on that either.
Okay.
But yes, no and yes at the same time, Marc. You know me well.
Okay.
So
anyway, bendy straws. You thought you were going to get out of that, but you didn't.
Sometimes it's just good call. Good call, Marc. All the way through on that one.
We will never find.
I'll take him out of my pants now.
Oh, see? That explained everything.
Well, there you go.
Also with us in the studio today is, as per usual, a guest. We have a very cool person. Her name is Alisa Cohn. She is amongst many things, she is an executive coach,
Yep.
which essentially means that if you're an executive and you're running around aimlessly, she knows how to keep you away from the foul lines and help you get a touchdown. How was that, Alyssa? See what I did
That needs
there?
a little work.
Okay. So that's why you're an Alyssa coach and I'm just some strange boy on a microphone. So,
Well, I just want to say you look great.
oh, you talking to me or Alyssa?
You look great. You look great.
Thanks,
great.
thanks,
We
Ben.
all look
We
great.
all look,
Yeah.
out of all three of us, with all due respect, Alyssa, I'm pretty sure you look the greatest of all of us because you, my friend, you are in shape.
You're fantastic. in
Stop
shape.
that. None of that was meant for me. I honestly was just trying to say both of you look great. It's great to be here.
It's funny because Alyssa is an executive coach,
Yes.
and Ben is a fitness coach. You're a
Fitness
personal
coach.
trainer as well as a voiceover actor.
Mm-hmm.
You're a stand-up comedian. You're a writer, producer, actor, and I guess a podcaster as well.
Yeah, that's
Whatever.
because of you.
Well, yeah. But no, you're. I invited you, but you made it into something.
Well,
so-
you got me into it.
okay?
I boarded the ship with you.
Yes.
Yeah. You were saying?
Sank it together.
Yeah.
That's right. Anyway, so great to have you here, Ben. Great to have you here, Alyssa. We're looking forward to learning more about what you do and who you are and how humor and comedy intersects with your life and your profession.
Awesome.
I'm sorry. The way I just said that, it's like, awesome. So I just realized the way that came out was so dismissive.
It did come
And
out a little bit dismissive.
I
It's like,
didn't-
speak when you're spoken to, girl.
Well, what it was kind of, it wasn't meant that way. It was like I was already falling into the next sentence, trying to grab hold of some small piece of string connected to the previous thought I was trying to get out, and that was the way it came out. So, but at least I caught it, realized my mistake, and owned it. So, Alyssa, in addition to that, we're gonna catch up a little bit with Ben and talk a bit with you, and who knows what we'll get a chance to talk about. We will play a brand new improv game that we've never played on the show before, called the Interruptor. And then after that,
What were you saying? The jokes will get better. I promise.
Not now, Ben. So we'll do that, and then at the end of the show, even though Elsie is not here, but still a tip of the hat to her, we're going to have end of show food, which I myself have picked out with Ben in mind.
Well,
Ooh.
it's true. He did take the time.
So it's sunflower seeds and boiled chicken.
I was
No,
going to say it
I
must
was-
be chicken.
it probably is chicken. It probably is chicken.
well, yeah.
Actually, there might be chicken. I'm
might
not
be
sure.
chicken in it, actually.
Anyway, so all that coming up right after this. But first, on the show, Alyssa and Ben, Danielle usually at this point in the show has what she calls a nerd tip for us. And I'm not going to ask you for a nerd tip, Ben, but I'm wondering if you might be able to offer a fitness tip or a health tip.
Oh, absolutely. I think one of the best tips is to regulate how much you eat during the day and make sure that you're eating enough to keep your metabolism moving at an efficient pace. Monitoring what you eat, more or less. Was it too serious?
It was too serious.
All right.
It was too serious. You, although you did say it with a bit of a sneer.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah.
Well, I'm trying to get the point across.
Okay.
Very seriously.
I'm
'Cause
not
it's-
sure. Are you sure you're the best man for the job?
I don't know if I am.
Who else can we get?
Well, I did, and I didn't want to bring this up, but I
Okay.
did bring a friend of mine.
You did?
in, and he's a health advocate, to
Okay.
say the
Is
least.
that him right out there?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay,
I don't know if it's
come-
okay if he
come on
comes
in.
in.
It's okay, you can come in.
Yeah, come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Hey, how you doing over there?
Hey, hi. What's your name?
Charlie Mudcap.
Charlie Mudcap.
Yeah, that's right.
And Charlie, how do
It's
you
a
know?
beautiful place you got here.
Thank you. How do you know? Well,
Very nice.
It was
Some
nice before
flowers on
Mickey
the
and Billy
wall.
were here. But how do you know Ben?
Oh, well, him and I met at the gym. And him and I were talking about baseball one day because I used to be a professional umpire. And I'm no longer doing that. But that's a different story. So we started talking about baseball.
What?
And I basically told him all about a little of what I did. And then he basically told me that he was in fitness and I had some health questions about diet. And he informed me on some things I wasn't really aware of. And once he told me about them, I was blown away. If I had a hat on, it would have blown off.
Maybe you could offer some health tips based on the things you've learned from Ben. Alisa, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you have any health?
I have many health tips. Many.
But do you have any health questions that maybe Mr. Mudcap might have? Do you go by Mr. Mudcap, umpire Mudcap? What Mudcap?
I can't go. I'm not allowed to use that term anymore.
Oh, sorry.
It's Mister.
Okay, so Mr. Mudcap.
Or you can call me Charlie.
Maybe Mr. Mudcap can offer us some insights to our questions. I mean, for example, I want to know, how do I know when I've had enough calories in the day?
Oh, that's a crazy question to ask. That's like if you're going in your kitchen and you open the refrigerator and you see food there in the morning, right? Well, how much of your food is going to be there when you get home is the question, right? What you're putting into your body, right? So let me ask you a question. What are you eating? Because that's the question.
That's very insightful.
I'm a very insightful guy.
Okay. So do you have any questions, Alisa? I know I'll put you on the spot, but he's a wealth of information.
I
Clearly.
see that. Okay. How do I know if my heart rate gets high enough during interval training?
Oof, that's a real synergist question. Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is, depending on whether or not you're wearing a heart monitor, check your heart rate. And if you got a heart monitor on, it'll tell you. If you're on a treadmill, not all the gyms have this, but you can grab onto the handles and about, 10 seconds or so, it reads your heart rate and it'll tell you. That's how you read your heart rate.
What is the most important thing you learned from Ben?
Oh, that would be probably water consumption.
In terms of what?
How much I drink.
How much do you drink?
A lot of water.
How much water?
Probably 120 ounces a day.
Is that a lot? I don't even know.
For me, I don't need that much. I'm not working that hard. And that's not a crazy amount either.
No.
But for a guy like me, I'm not as active as I once was because of my past.
What is your past?
Well, I don't want to get into it. It's a rough thing.
Well, then why did you bring it up?
Well, because sometimes you need to get things out that your therapist says you should get out.
Okay.
I'm trying.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Mudcap. Maybe we'll see you again. Maybe we can bring Ben back in here.
All right. Hey, they want you back. All right. Yeah, nice to meet you all.
All right. Bye-bye, Mr. Mudcap.
Well, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what wealth of information he may be, but...
Yeah, he kind of beats around the bush with some stuff.
Does he?
Yeah, I feel like he talks a big game.
All right. Tell you what, we're going to get started with the show. So, Ben, why don't you tell me to get started with the show, would you?
Hey, Marc.
Yeah, what's that?
Wake up.
Yeah?
Because this ain't a dream.
Okay.
I'm here.
From the Mouth Media Network studios in New York City, and from the same people who brought you Monkey Radio with Marc, this is Funny People Talking with Marc Rako, Danielle Beckman, and Elsie.
Welcome back to Funny People Talking. We are here with Alisa Cohn and the thinner, leaner, younger, sexier Tom Cruise, Ben Rose. I will tell you that the sexier part of that was thanks to Miss Alisa Cohn, who made that observation, which is very nice. I just don't want to own that you're the sexier Tom Cruise.
No.
I don't really want to insult Tom Cruise.
Oh, well, hey, come on. Tom Cruise is awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
I do think he's awesome.
He's
except
awesome.
for the whole
Scientology.
that I couldn't say it.
I get it. I love Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, all I can say is the guy is one of the most successful people in Hollywood,
Yeah.
which is a hard business to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
He's helped people.
Does all his own stunts.
He's a guy that doesn't make trouble on set that we hear about anyway. He does his own stunts. He's one of the most fittest people I've ever seen. I mean, to be his age and do the stuff he's doing. I've always been curious if running scenes are a part of his contract. Like every movie he's in, he has to run.
Oh, that's I'm sure a part of the deal.
It's got to be.
That's one of the.
I can't remember a movie that he's in where he doesn't have a running scene.
And we all wait for that, don't we?
Is he going to be like 82 and doing a movie and there's like a wheelchair scene? He's got to like really fast do the wheelchair down the path.
Nah, he'll be flying or something by now.
He will.
Yeah.
He'll anti-grab by that point.
Yeah. He's definitely Tom Cruise, man.
I still believe, and I may have said this on another show, but I sincerely believe this, Alisa. I believe we are very, very close because you've seen all the stuff with deep fakes and what they can do with synthesizing people's voices and matching that to text that's been written, and you can really deeply capture someone's features. And one of the things that's happened with animation of people is that they always look kind of dead in the eyes. But now we've been able to start doing these deep fakes. I think we're that much closer to being able to synthesize the sense of life in people's faces. I think what we're going to start to see is, and I'm interested in your thoughts on this, I think we're going to start to see actors like Tom Cruise be captured and bought out for, let's say, we'll give you $750 million and we get 10 pictures. You don't have to do anything after you're fully sampled. So we're going to sample the crap out of your voice. You go to studio for like a week, you say like a 200,000 words or something like that, and we sample all of them. We do incredible sampling of your body, all this 3D sampling, and then we can basically have Tom Cruise movie after Tom Cruise movie completely animated, and it looks lifelike. It synthesizes his voice and his reactions, and that's how we're going to start to have the stars once they start to age. And you can get a million. Couldn't you get like Arnold Schwarzenegger and have unlimited Terminator movies by this?
Yeah, is that a good thing?
I didn't say it was a good thing.
Right. I'm just saying.
Economically viable.
I think we had so many Terminator movies. I'm glad the new one is like a takeoff from the last one was, but there's so many in between that are just garbage. Anyway. Why
don't you like the Terminator movie? I don't know.
Well, I love Arnold. He's
Arnold's
the best.
good. So.
But the storyline got a little rough there in the middle.
Did you watch the new one? I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. No. Is it out yet? I don't think it's out yet. Anyway.
Joker's the one I
can't wait to see that. Cannot wait.
Did you hear there was Did you hear, Alyssa, there was an 8-minute standing ovation for Joker at the Venice Film Festival?
No, you're kidding.
8-minute standing ovation.
So Joker is like from the Batman movie?
Yeah, it's the new movie with
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix.
Cool.
And it actually looks like a true piece of art.
He's one of the best actors, if not the best.
It looks masterful.
Daniel Day has retired.
Pardon me?
That's neat. Sounds neat.
Really cool. My wife Heather was a background actor in that movie for a few scenes. So I'm looking forward to seeing if she gets any screen time. I mean,
oh, that's cool.
So okay, so I got to catch up with you a little bit, Mr. Ben.
Yeah.
What have you been up to since Monkey Radio? You've been
Marc.
What you been doing? So I know you're a personal trainer.
Yes, still doing that.
You have your own company?
I did, yeah. Okay. I own my own company. We started working in voiceover. And
okay. Like what kind of voiceover?
I'm enjoying that. A little animation.
You're doing animation? You're doing like character? Are you doing like the same character in multiple?
Nothing.
Or you do like
commercial work. So
you're like a when a bear comes on and they're like,
I love this toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Okay. Is that your toilet paper bear voice?
No, that's just kind of what I thought about. Is that what the Charmin bear would sound like? Because it's a voiceover in the Charmin commercial. It's not the bear. The bear's just there dancing with toilet paper in the forest.
The bear doesn't actually talk?
I don't believe the bear talks. I just remember a soothing voice telling me how great the toilet paper is.
We're blowing the lid off this right now.
Well, I'm gonna go another level, Alyssa.
Wow.
We've had a guest on this show who's one of the voices of the Charmin Bears.
No way.
Really? I swear to God.
See, there you go. Uncovered.
I totally uncovered.
Yeah.
Wow, debunked even.
Oh, darn it. Did I spoiler alert? Did I let
alert.
Trigger alert.
Damn it. Oh, right.
If you're afraid of bears,
I know.
don't listen to the show.
But that wouldn't be a bear. That's not a bear voice for a Charmin commercial.
No.
That's not an actual bear voice.
I mean, it could be a bear voice. I'm just saying, I don't think for that commercial.
Wouldn't that be more like, honey, I'm home.
Honey, I'm home. Take out what do you want me to do here?
Sounds a lot like Mr. Mudcap.
That's his younger brother.
Oh. So anyway, so you've been doing voiceover work, animation.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, man. By the way, we did an animated series for Monkey Radio.
Yes, we did.
But we did our own voices.
Yeah.
So it's not the same thing.
No.
What else? What else have you been doing?
Did some stand-up. I'm working on a second draft of a script.
You did stand-up. It's funny because we're invited to come see you do stand-up and we weren't able to go, which I felt really terrible about, honestly.
That's okay.
And how has that been going? Have you been continuing to do it? I've done stand-up a little bit. I know how freaking hard it is.
I took a little break just because I'm working on a script right now and voiceover's kind of been in the forefront. But I want to get back up there, and
You want to get back up?
yeah, definitely. Always.
I got a challenge.
Always got to
you.
work on your
I got a challenge for you.
craft.
Let's go do an open mic together sometime.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you say?
Yeah.
It's a deal?
Done.
All right.
Totally.
Because I've been thinking about it a little bit, but I don't have the time.
Have you ever
either.
done it?
Oh yeah.
When was the last-
It's probably like 4 or 5 years ago I did it, but I still have my jokes. I have more I could write, but I feel different now as a person. I feel different, like I go up and do it differently. I've learned.
Yeah, you got to go
bit.
through stuff to
Yeah.
get better.
And
Learn
so anyway, I'd love to go try it and just have a little fun.
Absolutely.
Let's do that. That's what. So you've been doing that. What is your stand-up act like, Ben?
It varies. It opened with just like a bunch of characters, just one right after the other, after the other, after the other. And then I broke it down and, built intros. And, it's a cool progression. And that's what it's about.
So is it a bit like, did you go with the audience like, so what if so-and-so, have you ever heard about this? Well, what if
No,
this happened?
I build up a whole repertoire of like openings for a particular character or whatnot, and then I'll kind of just break down what works the best.
So it might be like,
chip away at it.
would it be like, say, when I was 8 years old, baseball was one of my favorite things. And I always took a look at the umpire, and then all of a sudden we meet that umpire.
Yeah, it'd be something like that.
Okay.
I'm
not saying that's the act, but
no. But yeah,
it's
more or less.
Most definitely not.
An intro of one kind or another.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Alyssa, have you ever tried doing stand-up or anything like that? I know.
Yes.
Great. What was that experience like, and what made you do it?
God. Well, I was in Boston. I moved to New York from Boston. So
Okay. Wow. Love Beantown.
yeah, Red Sox forever. And so just to say that I was at a professional maybe turning point in my career, and I just got into my head that I wanted to do something that would scare me.
Oh yeah.
So I thought, well, I'm either going to take flying lessons or I'm going to take a stand-up comedy class. So I decided I couldn't figure out how to get flying lessons in.
And arguably stand-up is safer, although
Super. Well, I don't know. Super.
depends on what you do, I guess.
So I did the class, and then I performed for a little while at the Comedy Studio in Boston, which is a group that Rick Jenkins put together, and it's still going strong. It sort of was like it almost was trying to replicate Catch a Rising Star, famous, Boston comedy, I guess, legacy and pedigree. And so it was awesome to be a part of that community for a really short period of time. But then, and it was terrifying. Like comedy, stand-up comedy, I have to hand it to you. Like, I did not like it. It was terrifying. The comics themselves were dark. And they never left. They were not supportive of each other's jokes. But what was interesting is a few years later, I actually was, I was interviewing for this job at Goldman Sachs. And I was, this is not right out of business school. It's already a year or two out of business school. So I was it was an unusual opportunity. I was a non-traditional candidate. So I was talking about whatever I brought to the table, and he said, no, enough of that. The thing you actually bring to the table is your experience in stand-up comedy, because that's what we need, people who can be resilient like that. I thought that was very wise.
I agree with you. There's a group of high-end executives who are going to be coming to Caroline's in October.
Yeah.
To do a show, and they've been going through a program to learn stand-up comedy. They're coming here. It's going to be for charity.
Awesome.
And I know a couple of them, and and then we're going to have them on this show actually the day after. But my point is this is definitely because for several years, and now too, improv was being really looked at, and still is, as a really great tool for team building and really for salespeople to learn, and more now executives to implement. It's really important. Everyone in this room knows that it's so useful to have those skills in really learning how to listen properly and process information and not just go first with your ideas, but try to incorporate the ideas of others and so forth.
And also just to say yes, and also go with the flow.
Exactly.
Right. The ability to deal with each other in whatever shows up.
So as an executive coach, if I may jump ahead a little bit, what do you think, thinking about humor and the process of stand-up comedy, whether it's the getting up on stage or the formulation of the jokes or the way that you process the experience, how do you think that might be valuable for someone who is trying to grow their entrepreneurial career or or
stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
Well,
What
mean,
comes out of it? What
in
can come
every
out of it?
way. So in every way. So first of all, the number one thing for anybody who wants to grow is get out of your comfort zone. So it's like something that you have to do on stage, out of your comfort zone, really exposed. Also, it's the notion of when you first try a joke and try something out, very often it just sucks. It's terrible. So it's try again, and honing something and taking in feedback from others, and then obviously using a different skill that you would never use. So people do business writing and people do speaking on the phone, but this is like writing jokes. It's really interesting. How do you then walk around the world and see it differently? And then, of course, presentation skills.
Sure.
Getting in front of an audience is always a good thing.
It's a really great way, I think, to learn the difference between what you think is happening with your body and your voice and your mind versus what's really happening. And when you can calibrate that, you start to connect with people.
Yes.
And it's interesting watching yourself on video. I know we've probably all experienced this. It's usually what you see is not what you think was happening. I can't tell you for me the experience that it's been to see myself in films and in TV and go, the puppeteer inside myself that was operating in my body and my mouth was drunk. They did not know what they were doing because I didn't think I was doing that. So it makes me have to like go, okay, I think I have to go this far with things, but I really have to go this far, and that either larger or smaller, and that's what intersects with where people's attention is.
Yes. Can I add something to that?
Of course.
So as a coach, part of what I do is 360 feedback. Have you heard of 360 feedback?
I have, but I don't remember what it is.
I get feedback about, let's say, you, Marc, from everybody around you. So I'd ask Rob, I'd ask Ben, I'd ask your wife, what are your strengths and what are your development opportunities and what suggestions do they have? So then it's like very enlightening. It's the first time people have really seen how other people view them because you're the expert on your intention and everybody around you is the expert in your impact. So as a leader, you have to learn to marry your intention with your impact.
Do you find most of the time that's very painful for people?
It's always painful. Without exception, it's always painful. Yes, it's really difficult because in any way, looking in the mirror, people are embarrassed by they're embarrassed by their strengths. They're embarrassed anyone's like watching them. It's all embarrassing. But to your point about watching yourself on a video, I was once with a client, the president of a division, and he's a super nice guy and super humble. He's from Canada. You know how they are. And he, it turned out they said about him, he's arrogant. I'm like, this guy, I don't know what's coming up. And I said, what do you mean he's arrogant? He always interrupts us. Like, well, I guess I'll take that in. So I presented this data to him and I said, they say you're arrogant because you're always interrupting. I don't interrupt. I never interrupt. I get it. As we're talking, 10 seconds later, he interrupted me. And over and over and over. And I see that nobody really knows what comes out of their mouths.
True.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I bet that guy thought, and I could have this wrong, I bet he thought it's that he really wants people to connect with people with the ideas that he has, but he isn't able to navigate the social expectation of allowing someone else to finish their thoughts, which makes people feel like their thoughts are invalid.
Yeah.
And whereas he's probably not arrogant as much as he's excited.
Yes. And he wants to participate in those ideas. Absolutely. But that's what we came up with. That's the point. He's the expert in his intention. He's so excited by their ideas. Yeah. But they're the expert in his impact. He's arrogant. So then you have to then train yourself to figure out what you want to overcome and what you want to change. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you. I feel like I got a little college class right there. So back to Ben, the stand up, that's cool. And you said you're writing. Mm-hmm. What's that? Is that a script or is it?
I'm working on the second draft of a script.
This is your animated film or animated series, which shall yet be disclosed. Disclosed.
Not yet.
What it is. It's a big secret right now.
Big secret right now.
Is there something happening with that you can't talk about? I really don't know.
Yeah, kind of, but not really. But
nothing super official, but some possible channels. It's being sorted through that could have results, but you don't know.
It's in an ocean.
It's in an ocean.
You know what I mean? It's in a bottle in an ocean, which is better than it being on land sometimes.
So it's out of your hands, in the hands of the currents of other people that may or may not make it to shore.
Yes.
But it's better than it just sitting in your hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Yes.
And what's next? Like, what's the big dream of the thing that you're aiming for next?
Well, there's a few different things.
It's like a little mini interview here.
That's a loaded question.
I want my own crack at Ben, actually.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
When is this week?
It's all good. Actually,
see, I come in,
Ben, this is
after
your intervention.
like 3 years, and
Ben, we've called you here for a reason.
right.
I'm the coach.
Yes. I want to get back. I want to get back on stage and start working on a new stand-up routine. That's kind of been in my mind for a while, and now I got some time. So,
all right, we're gonna help kick that off together and just make it happen, even if it sucks.
It's fine. There's plenty of different open mics we can go to.
I'm in.
Yeah, we'll go on like a Friday or
because Friday nobody goes to open mic.
No, that's when they all go.
They know
that's the point.
I know
you want that support.
I know.
Were you just being terrified by that idea?
I know. I was thinking we'll never get a slot.
No, we'll get a slot.
Okay.
We just have to get there on time.
Know people know. You know, it's funny. Danielle, my co-host, regular co-host, she actually used to book stand-up gigs. Like she was a producer for stand-up shows. So
interesting.
She might know some intel.
I might know. I can reach out to a few people.
All right.
There's one guy who I worked my first time I ever did it, and he was so awesome and so supportive. So I can reach out to him.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe after we do that, you come back on the show sometime. We can talk about our experience.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe it's time to play. Anything else that we should talk about?
Yeah, Ben, how's your inner life?
Oh, my inner life's beautiful.
Tell us
I should give a
about
shout out to Eric Grooms. He's a good guy.
Okay.
Great stand-up. My inner life is great. How is yours?
Mine's fantastic.
Excellent.
We want to hear about yours.
What's an inner life? I don't know what that is.
An inner life is sort of how you're experiencing, like your thoughts and your feelings on the inside, like how you're experiencing life.
Which is the most important thing to be experienced.
Absolutely. Are you feeling positively about life these days?
Always.
Yeah? Okay, good.
Mark, how do you feel?
I feel like a 7-year-old girl running screaming from a tractor.
I'm...
I have to be honest.
I understand, though.
I'm actually sort of serious, but
do you want to talk about it?
Not right now, not here, not in this forum.
Well, now I'm just thinking of like a cornfield.
I'll give you an answer because you deserve one, but I'd rather not use our time here together for that purpose. We're here to talk about you.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, I'm growing a company, and it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
And there have been many dimensions to it, and as much success as we have, as much as we've accomplished, there's stress of life. And I have a spouse and a new wife who has her own complexities going on in her life that therefore become my complexities as mine do hers. And, I've been nothing horrible, but I've been dealing with my own, it's overstating it by saying health issues, but things to pay attention to my health that add that additional balancing act or, stress or things you have to think about.
Yeah.
So my point is, inside, I'm not living calmly. And the demands that I've placed upon myself for this job, meaning my job with Mouth Media, not my job on this show, make it so that I have enormous pressure I've placed on myself, and I recognize I've placed it on myself, but I'm sort of in so deep now that a lot of people depend on me, and I feel as if to withdraw myself from that would have repercussions on other people, and the right thing to do is to try to see it through. Therefore, that's stress, pressure, that sort of stuff. So my point is, so I don't get a lot of time for self-care, or don't feel I have a lot of time for self-care. Joined a gym. I've been there one time to use the restroom. Well, it's only been a couple months, but I know this. So
You didn't tell me any of this.
No, I didn't.
Well, it's good I'm here.
Yeah.
It's good I'm here. I coach entrepreneurs. I totally get that. I coach entrepreneurs.
Yes.
And so I can totally relate to where you're coming from, and everybody can. And it's sort of the compounding of all those things, plus I'm sure the ups and downs.
Yeah.
Like some days it's great and some days it's like really extra
Absolutely.
stressful. So can I offer one piece of advice?
Of course.
Well, if you are talking about your health, and like for me, we're all one way or the other, we all have to protect the asset. So just from, if anyone has health challenges, you have to handle those. But just the basic, care and feeding of your body every day.
Yeah.
I would really invite you to think about how you're going to get to the gym in a way it's going to work for you. Whether it's first thing in the morning, middle of the day, end of the day, whatever time, pick a time, put it on your calendar, and then go do something manageable.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do a big running thing. Don't be like, oh, I have to lift all these weights. Be like, okay, 10 minutes on the treadmill and I'm done. As a starting point to get yourself into a habit to create winning culture. Yeah.
Oh, I understand. That's interesting. Yeah.
Could you do that?
Yeah, I think, and one thing also I that changed for me is my old job before I went full time with this. I walked almost 2 miles each way to work.
Yeah.
And when I started doing this, I don't walk to work anymore.
Right.
I take the train.
Right.
And originally I was going to get off at a station that would allow me to still put those 2 miles in.
Yeah.
But life got busy and I can't afford that extra half hour each way anymore.
So what about 10 or 15 minutes?
Right. So I need to start implementing that. But anyway, so this has been very therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
But,
You're
anyway,
welcome, both of you. Okay.
He's still staring with evil, judgmental eyes over there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Loving judgmental eyes.
Yes.
But anyway, so thank you. But I wanted to explain my 7-year-old girl running screaming from a tractor statement, because inside it's always a little bit of keep the wall short up a little bit and just keep it going and so I always believe in answering honestly, but I could joke my way through this and ignore it and bypass the helping hand, the interested party. But I think at least a brief, honest answer is always important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
So enough with the comedy part of our show.
Now let's go deep.
No. So, well, Ben, I'm glad that you've got some things going on. I want to ask you one more question before we go away from the Ben thing, and I'm serious. I would like to know one thing.
Okay.
Since the last time I saw you.
Yeah.
That was the coolest thing that happened to you that just made you go, this was freaking awesome.
Oh, probably booking my first voiceover gig.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of work was that for? Was that for an animated thing?
Yeah.
And what was it like getting that call or that email or whatever?
It was so gratifying.
Yeah.
So gratifying.
Did you sort of leap around the room?
Yeah, I was really happy.
Yeah. I've been there. I've had that moment.
Yeah. Well, it's you work and work and work, and you just keep pushing. That's what it's about.
That's it.
With everything. Moments. Yeah. But may I also say to you, congratulations.
Oh, on what?
On your marriage.
Oh, thank you.
And for those, Heather's an amazing woman. So Marc's got a really special girl.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Known you guys for what? What are we coming on? 5.5, 6?
Gotta be
at least, right?
At least that, if not more. Yeah.
I'm gonna have my 9-year anniversary here next month in New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, day before Halloween.
Thanks for staying.
Hey, glad to be here.
All right. I see that as a good point to go into our improv game before we go to our look into Alisa's world and work and just who she is. I'm going to play a brand new improv game, which I teased earlier in the show. It's called the Interruptor.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea is that you have a complete conversation with someone, a complete story is told, if you will.
Okay.
In which you are recounting something, you are describing something, or you are unfolding something. It can be kind of up to you what that is.
Okay.
But it is completely told by two people that are constantly interrupting each other. And neither one completely is able to get their part of the story out, but ultimately, by the end, the story becomes something.
Okay.
And maybe that's the pieces of all the parts all the pieces put together somehow told the story. We've never played this before. We don't know how it's going to go.
I feel like that girl, you and the corn thing running through the field on the tractor.
Do you?
Yeah.
No, I'm the tractor.
Is that what you said? Was it on a tractor?
No, from a tractor. I said I'm the tractor.
You're the tractor.
I'm the tractor.
I'm not riding the tractor.
You're
that's
the
for sure.
little girl.
What kind of show are we running?
Okay.
All right.
I know.
But it got me thinking about a lot of cornfields.
By the way, I do realize how sexist it was for me to say it was a 7-year-old girl screaming. That was unfortunate. That was definitely not 2019 of me. It was a 7-year-old or 70-year-old, because I don't want to discriminate on age.
On age.
Asexual, I don't know. A fish.
An asexual tractor.
Exactly. Running, who may or may not have been running / jogging.
We don't know.
/ riding their wheelchair to or from attractor?
A lot of questions.
It's a lot of questions. So this is the Interrupter. Ben and I will start, and then we'll do a round with, I actually have an idea. Let's do one round. Let's have us all play together. I think a group interruption should be fun.
Okay.
Let's see how that works.
Okay, everyone buckle up.
Okay. Alyssa, I would like to ask you
Yeah.
to just give us a location anywhere in the world, any type of location. We'll use that as a context for the story.
Location.
Boulder, Colorado.
Okay. So I don't know if you've ever been to Boulder, Colorado, Alyssa, but I have to tell you that recently I took a flight and it was diverted to Boulder, Colorado.
Boulder, Colorado? You're kidding.
Yeah,
They're
it
the
was-
ones that just decriminalized
Right.
also. Oh, so we're doing this now?
Yeah.
Because you're, okay.
I'm acting.
Okay.
Can you just interrupt when you want to start?
I'm acting.
I got
I'm acting.
confused.
By the way,
It's okay.
By the way, I haven't really done any acting in a while. Do you know how long it's been since I did
It
acting?
didn't
It's
go-
been like a
Monkey
good-
Radio?
It didn't go really
No,
well.
it just went.
Don't
No,
beat yourself
it was
up.
when I did Blue Bloods. I did
Oh.
Blue Bloods. I haven't acted. I'm still doing the game.
Oh, all right.
Oh, he's
all right. And that game reminded me of the quest to switch the transporter in my time machine. Time had become short, and Dr. Parnassus and I were very quickly to
I love
understand.
Dr. Parnassus. He's my favorite doctor.
Do I keep going?
Oh, I
Did
don't know.
somebody say doctor?
He's a doctor of time, and so
Somebody say doctor because I was just the other day telling one of my clients he should really go to the doctor because his leg fell off, and I just thought like everyone's noticing, and you are really you can't hide it anymore. He should absolutely go to the doctor. That was in Boulder, Colorado.
Oh,
That's why I had
love
to come
Boulder,
home.
Colorado. Did I tell you about the time that my flight was diverted to Boulder, Colorado? It was terrible. There was this woman who threw up on the plane, and it was so bad. That
I threw up one time. I was in Portugal giving a talk, and it was like really stressful. And at the very end that night, I had some fish, and it didn't quite agree with me. So there I was in the hotel room in Portugal, throwing up. It was miserable.
Portugal
waiting
reminds
for
me of all the times that I flew over there to watch the tennis match. Both me and Marianne would follow each other to the deep realms. Am I doing it right?
No, you're not now.
I don't understand
You
this
were.
game.
I don't understand what there is not to understand.
There's not
Well,
really.
well,
it's
I'm-
actually pretty straightforward.
Is
right?
it, I mean,
Marianne and I were.
Marianne, I remember back in the day, I used to watch Gilligan's Island.
I love
Non-
Gilligan's Island. I watched that too
Non-stop.
growing up.
And boy, oh boy, it was super fun. So anytime anyone says a 3-hour cruise, I'm all like, a 3-hour cruise.
have you ever been
huh?
on a cruise? I really want to go on a cruise. My wife and I have talked about going on a cruise. Maybe one of those Alaskan cruises so you can see the Northern Lights.
I heard that's really nice, actually.
You
And
thought the
it's
Northern
like
Lights?
not a big ship, so you're not with like a million people.
Right.
People. But I'm very excited about the new movie coming out with The Rock, Jungle Cruise. But I'm a fan of everything The Rock does.
Actually, I looked at that movie. It sounds terrible.
Now you guys are having a
It
conversation.
sounds terrible?
It sounds terrible.
You're not
Yeah,
interrupting anymore. You're having
like,
a
I know.
chat.
like Skyscraper
where I
was
was-
terrible, but it was still great because The Rock's in it.
Oh, that's true. The Rock is good. You know,
Oh,
who
yeah.
you know what The Rock's not in? That movie, the Lighthouse, which
No, he's not.
he's not in the Lighthouse.
With Willem Dafoe and Robert Patterson, right?
Right, Robin. It's Patterson, not
Patterson.
Patterson.
I'm sorry.
That's right. So, but
I don't read the
Have you ever
papers.
actually been in a lighthouse?
Yeah, I have. A couple times.
It's one of my favorite things to do. Is
It's
to go up
real-
on a lighthouse. It's
kinda
cool.
creepy.
Although I went to a lighthouse one time and it wasn't open all the way, so I couldn't go all the way up the stairs. I just had
it
to
was
walk
like
in and then
partially
walk out.
closed.
I can't stand stairs. I have to say, it's this kind of thing that everyone's like, oh, stairs are good for you. I don't think stairs are good for me. I like a good elevator every day of the week, and I always look for the escalator. I know it's not very PC, but that's how I do it.
God, there's so many videos out there of kids getting their feet stuck in escalators. That actually happened when I was younger. I got my galoshes stuck in an escalator, and it was very scary. And then a man came and saved me, and my mother gave me a grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh,
Grilled cheese sandwich.
I love grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah, grilled cheese sandwiches are good.
Now, how do you cook a grilled cheese? How do you cook your grilled cheese sandwich?
Well,
Although
if
I
you're
don't think
gonna-
you eat.
I
No,
bet
no,
Ben
no.
does not eat a single
No,
grilled
no,
cheese.
no.
I bet
See,
he's never,
just-
never met a grilled cheese. I bet he can't even
Oh, please.
spell
Oh,
grilled
please.
cheese sandwich.
Oh, please. You got to have cheat days.
I mean, you guys don't even know. He's so hot and sexy. You have
Oh,
no
stop
idea. He's
that.
standing in his
Wow.
chair. The guy has
Listen.
never even said the word carb in his life.
No, I have. I've definitely been down that road, I promise. I don't know what to say at this point. I'll make a grilled cheese sandwich however the hell you want me to make it. Jeez.
Alyssa's like, yes, you will.
I would put a little butter in there.
Interesting.
I would do it the right way. If you're gonna do a grilled cheese sandwich, like do it the right way. Put a little bacon in there and some tomato at the end.
Tomatoes good on
Yeah.
a grilled cheese sandwich.
Right.
Um,
And a little ketchup is not always bad.
I've never had ketchup
little
on a
bit.
grilled cheese sandwich.
A little bit.
Now, you know what's great on fries instead of ketchup is
don't say vinegar. Don't say vinegar. Don't say vinegar. Don't
Please
say
say
vinegar.
vinegar.
Don't
Please
say
say
vinegar.
vinegar.
Don't
Please
say
say
vinegar.
vinegar.
Don't say vinegar.
honey mustard.
Yes.
right.
Now what?
That
Marc,
was what I was gonna say.
what kind of honey mustard? I got a horrible honey mustard story. That's just
I have to hear
heartbreaking.
a honey mustard story.
Okay, so we all
Who
know.
doesn't have one?
Right. Okay, so I was getting this honey mustard that Heinz made for years, right? And what is the brand? Golden's that makes
Gulden's.
Golden's. So they came out with a spicy honey mustard, and it was the best. It was the best, and only West Side Market had it. Like Fairway didn't have it. Gristedes didn't have it, though. The Gristedes near me, which is now closed, was like the worst smelling store.
You didn't try Trader Joe's, did you?
No, they
I
don't,
can't
they don't carry
stand
it.
Trader Joe's. I don't know what the big deal about.
Oh man, I love Trader Joe's.
is.
I'm
I
from
get confused.
California,
I
though,
don't
so
care
I'm
for
like,
it.
it's in my
It doesn't
blood.
make sense to me the layout there. I don't understand. Although worse than that for me is Fairway in their checkout process. It's so weird. If you're
Yeah.
from New York, I don't know if Fairway's just in New York or what, but Fairway has a terrible checkout process. It's like
It's
they
pretty rough.
stand there and they like yell at you, you know.
Like 23,
Exactly.
4.
Exactly. What do colorblind people do in Whole Foods with the color?
Well, when you know something's on sale, with the tags that are on sale,
Yeah.
is that what you're talking about?
No.
Oh, what were you talking
Talking
about?
about, you know how they have the color display at the register, so you know which number yours corresponds
Oh,
to.
yeah.
So it's like it says number 2, but it's in the blue stripe.
Well, it probably blacks out, I would imagine.
Oh, maybe. So that okay.
But I got to tell you something. I have not noticed lower prices at Whole Foods.
No.
No.
Wow, that's a point of controversy, isn't it?
You know,
the
it's
Whole
annoying.
Foods Amazon situation.
Yeah.
It's fraught with.
Well, I get my vegetables at Whole Foods. I don't like Trader Joe's vegetables. I'm not a fan.
Interesting.
I get lemons at Trader Joe's because, you know, that goes in the chicken. But
I figured out when this game is over.
Are we
It's
still
when-
playing?
The game ended quite a while ago.
It's when it stops being interrupted and we end up like really listening to each other because it's an interesting
That
conversation.
happened about 5 minutes ago.
Can I? Yes, it did. And can I just take a minute to
Yeah,
say,
go ahead.
I didn't finish my mustard story.
I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
thought we were still playing the game.
Yeah, because we're trying to interrupt
Well, I
you.
just want to finish the
We're
story.
now
Go
on-
ahead, finish it.
all
Okay,
right.
and this stuff was so good, you guys. And it's not like that other honey mustards where you're like, oh, it's just too sweet. It was spicy honey mustard.
Okay.
They stopped carrying it and they replaced it with the chipotle honey mustard, and it's just not the same. It doesn't have the grainy
No.
mustard seeds, which makes it a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just, you know, I don't want to talk about it
Yeah,
anymore.
Sorry.
yeah. Ben's like, I'm over it.
I'm over this.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah, stupid. One store and one store in the whole city is going to carry you.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was around the block. I'm not complaining.
Is
like
that
100 feet away.
Is that your number one thing to dip something in? Is that honey
Oh,
mustard?
barbecue sauce, man.
Barbecue sauce.
Whoa,
all day long.
interesting.
What about you, Alyssa?
Mustard. Straight mustard.
Like yellow.
Yellow.
Like-
or a little of the hot and spicy, the
Like Grey
Gouldens
Poupon?
classic. No, don't like the Grey Poupon. A little too much nose hot for me.
I got you.
But really, it's the mustard. Yeah, and I also am a guacamole girl.
I love
Guilty as
guacamole.
charged.
Mark?
My favorite thing is something. It's called in Rochester, where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place called Country Sweet Chicken Wings,
Mm.
and in Wegmans, which there soon will be in
Oh, I
Brooklyn
know.
or
Exciting
Queens. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Wegmans. The
Brooklyn, I
ascension
think.
of Wegmans.
I am so excited.
Yeah.
What is this?
Wegmans is a supermarket chain that originated in Rochester that's now up and down the Eastern Seaboard, and we're going to have one in Brooklyn, I believe it is,
Yeah.
being built. I promise it will be your favorite store.
Although you will not travel all the way to Brooklyn
That's
for
true.
such a store.
I don't
Probably
travel to
not,
Brooklyn
but
for
it's-
much.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It's
pretty
good,
awesome
but it ain't that
store.
good.
Right.
You know
Good.
what I mean?
All right, I'm
Yeah.
not
But it's also considered the best place to work
Yes.
in the country. I
That's
think.
right. It's
Oh,
really,
that
it's really
beat
special.
Costco.
I believe, yeah.
It's
so
a special place.
It's a special place. So anyway,
Okay.
like when people go to Rochester, like from other countries, it's
It's
one
like
of
a
the
tourist
places
attraction.
they visit
Really?
is the main Wegmans.
Yeah, I went to school at Cornell, and like people flocked in Ithaca. People
Yeah.
flocked to Wegmans.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Anyway, so they do sell them in Wegmans also, in addition to going to this place called Country Sweet Chicken Wings. That it's this, it's a sweet and spicy, almost marmalade-y kind of vinegary sauce that just makes the chicken wings unbelievable.
Wow.
And so I buy bottles of this and
Yeah.
Yeah.
when I'm in Rochester and bring them back, and we use them for dip. And the best thing they can be is like if you have chicken. So we'll like broil chicken, just plain and then just dip that in the
Wow.
sauce, which
Totally.
negates the healthiness of the broiled chicken, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's delish. So.
I mean, a lot of people don't do condiments, and I do barbecue sauce. Like I used to do Sweet Baby Ray's, but then I realized because
all sugar.
it's all corn syrup
They're
and sugar. So I
all
was like, all right,
sugar.
You tried making your own?
yeah. So I've made my own, but I actually all the varieties at Trader Joe's are pretty damn good. Though they got rid of this Korean barbecue sauce. I mean, it was all sugar, but it was
Yeah.
so good.
You know
God,
how
it's
Koreans-
so good.
Koreans-
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, I say we take a quick break and then we get to Alisa so we can get to end of show food faster. So,
End of shoot.
Standing between us and end of show food is
You know,
Alyssa. Yes, thank you
I don't
very
know
much.
if that game worked, but it generated an interesting conversation.
Yes, it did.
So that was it for the Interruptor or whatever it was.
Don't try this at home.
That was like the fire starter. It got it going.
Right?
Yeah.
That's a good. Actually, you know what I think that is? That's actually a good improv exercise to interrupt each other, because what you're actually doing is listening to each other so you can interrupt.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, that's my justification.
Zip, zap, zap.
Ooh, yeah, I know the game.
Right.
All right, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, it's Alisa Cohn, all about her and everything she does right after this.
You know those sketches on Saturday Night Live that go on a little too long? And now we're way past funny and into painful, and you wonder if there's smoke in the control room and everyone is just unconscious and everyone on the stage has just kept going because nobody told them to end the scene and go to commercial? We hope to be that good one day. This is Funny People Talking.
All right, everybody, we are back. We didn't go anywhere. Did we go anywhere?
No, still here.
Go anywhere. Hey, Billy, get out of the window. All right.
God.
Sorry about that. Anyway, before we get started with the segment, I do need to get a bit of housekeeping out of the way. Something we do every episode. This is not something we've done before together, Ben, but on this show, every episode, we do our appeal to Tina Fey. We have a great goal to get Tina Fey to participate in the show in some way, shape, or form. So in every episode, we appeal to the comedy gods with a prayer, a seance, a song, whatever strikes you. I'm going to pray to the comedy gods right now and put it out to the universe. If you feel in any way you wish to participate, that's totally up to you, and you're welcome to join. And that's it. So I'm going to do it right now. Oh, comedy guys, oh, Tina Fey, we love you. Please come on the show. We love you. You know, usually I have people doing this with me. It does feel weird doing it by myself, but it's okay.
Or just watching
It's
do this.
Tina Fey,
It's very odd.
you are the best. We love you. Please join our show at some point in any way. Call in, drive by, send a note, come on the show. We don't care. We love you. Amen. Thank you. Alisa Cohn, you are an executive coach.
Yeah.
You're a very nice person.
Thank you.
I can tell instantly.
That's so nice.
And thank you for being here. We're
I'm so delighted to be here.
Tried
This
so
is
many
so
times, Ben, by the way. This
super
is probably like
quirky.
the fourth or fifth time we've tried to make this happen.
Yeah.
Finally, the schedule's
yeah,
aligned.
yeah. And I'm so happy.
You too?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a very, very busy
I'm a busy
person.
girl.
So,
Yeah.
I'm glad,
and-
glad we can all make it work.
I'm so happy to be here for the reunion.
woohoo.
Yeah,
I know.
so
yeah.
fun.
It's a leg kick.
Yeah.
You see that? Mark?
I know.
It was close.
It was pretty close
was
to
a
a
little
leg kick.
close.
It made air.
You made air.
Yeah.
I'm not giving much effort.
Alisa,
Yeah.
I know that you are an executive coach.
Yeah.
But if I can take that away from you for just a second as
Yeah.
your moniker, as your what you do.
Yeah.
Who are you? What are you? What is it that you do? So, for example, I could be an actor. Maybe that's my actual profession, but maybe that's not really what I am. Maybe I'm a storyteller.
Okay.
Maybe
I got it.
Whatever it is. So, what do you think you are?
I'm a bright light, which
Explain.
means
Unpack
that I am a truth teller, which means I show people the light. I sort of light up dark spaces. And also, I hope I bring energy and positivity to my clients, to companies, and to the world.
I get that because I used to be a headshot photographer.
Oh, neat.
And one of the things that I often found, it was the sliver in between the moments that if we captured that was the bright light you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it was. And often it would show people that they're beautiful in a way that they'd never seen themselves before because we just caught that quick moment in between moments that the light caught them right. They looked a certain way. We got the right angle and it captured them at their most physically and maybe spiritually beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It was that bright light. I had to show it to them and then they could believe it because it was.
That's a gift.
proof.
It's a gift you gave them.
Yeah. I guess it was. They paid me, so I didn't look at it that way. But yeah,
It was a gift too.
So thanks. Yes, it was a gift. Thank you. And you know, it's funny because a lot of people said you should do this as like a full-time total gig, and I was like, you know what? The minute I do that, it's going to take all of the fun and interest out of it. There'll be pressure to find that sliver in between the moments, and I don't want the pressure. I just want to discover it, and that's the cool part, right? All right, back to you.
I'm also a seeker.
Explain.
Well, just that I'm interested in knowing more about what's out there, what's true, exploring my own sort of self-actualization, self-expression, and helping other people explore their own self-actualization and self-expression.
Do you think you're better at this, like naturally or organically? How much of this is Alisa is actually got a skill built into her versus you learned things and therefore you're good at it?
In terms of being a coach? Or in terms of being a seeker?
In terms of being a light bringer and a seeker.
Well, I think it's my nature. So these are both of my nature. And I think that as I've been able to kind of strip away a lot of the doubt and my own imposter syndrome and my, insecurity and also social pressure to be a certain way. And the more I've been able to really own those two and a number of other ideas, the more I'm able to just fully express them. Okay. And also I would say as you do something more and more and you get more positive feedback for it, which I have, and also you get more confident and a little bit of age, it really helps consolidate kind of the essence of who you are if you're looking for it.
So Alisa, let's unpack what you do exactly. So you're an executive coach. What for those who don't have one or don't completely understand what that is, what exactly is it and why are you someone that someone should actually employ at like, what do you bring to the table that, how dare you? How dare you come to me and say, I can make your business life and your life better? Why you is the question. And I mean that with love, respect and love.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, so first of all, an executive coach is somebody, or I'll say for myself, I'm somebody who helps people assess where are they going, and how they're going to get there. And also the notion of moving forward faster. Right. So being able to shortcut learning and growth and be more rapid and be able to do that. I work a lot with CEOs of startups and founders and co-founders and executive teams of startups, but also large public companies. And the cheeky answer is somebody should hire me because of the 18 years of success that my clients have had as a result of working with me. And I think about that every day. But I would add that what I'm really good at is helping remind people of what they already know. But also because I've seen that movie before, I have a lot to say about how people are operating that just is super helpful for them and that can provide clarity.
So what is it that gives you that skill set? Did you yourself have a business success that you then exited and started doing this? Have you had formal education that's trained you how to do this? Or do you just have a certain way of putting things together and seeing things and explaining them to people that somehow connects with them? Which of these is true and which are the strongest part of it?
Yeah, well, I'd say it's yes and, right? So I have a natural, for whatever attraction that people come to me to ask me for advice. So I don't know that was always true. My friends would always ask me for career advice or even for kind of life advice. I remember also when I was in 5th grade, we were doing a little play and all the kids would come to me and ask me if they could be this part or that part or this part. Literally, I was like, why are you guys asking me? And I didn't really know. But I have that a little bit of that nature for better and for worse. And my boyfriend certainly would say it's sometimes for worse. I've been called bossy before. But then certainly I was an executive in startup world. I was CFO of one startup, the head of strategy of another startup. I was in the consulting world as a strategy consultant for a little while. I have my MBA. I'm a CPA, so I have a strong business background. And then also I've been, teaching myself about principles of psychology for a long time. So I have a strong psychological orientation. And I think the combination of that is helpful. And also for whatever reason, when I give people direct feedback, they're able to handle it. And that's very valuable for people.
What do you find as far as the social dynamic aspect goes when it comes to working with a new client? If they're a little hesitant, or how do you get through to somebody who's maybe not open to your ways of...
Yeah. So actually, it's a great question. And I love skeptics. And I have to say that I think a lot about when I'm meeting somebody new for the first time, I think about adding value in 20 minutes. So really what that's about is listening deeply to that person, understanding where they're coming from, asking the right questions, asking powerful questions to get them to think, and then summarizing what they just said because people don't feel listened to in a way that helps them take action on that. And that can be very quick when you know what you're doing.
So you're giving them a little justification by letting them hear their own thoughts.
Yeah. It's really awesome to feel mirrored.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And also, sometimes you don't know what you say. You don't know what you're thinking until you say it out loud. And also, you don't know what you're thinking and what you said until someone repeats it back to you.
Yeah. That interpretation is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always read out loud.
You do?
Yeah. And I just read some study. One of my clients was mentioning that reading out loud helps you memorize and interpret what you've been reading like 20 to 50% more.
Oh.
And I've always done that. And I find that really helps just with everyday awareness.
Yes.
It really helps open up a lot of just different diameters in life that you normally wouldn't have, and just interacting with other people and hearing what they have to say. And yeah.
Training your ear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool that you do that.
It's interesting to hear how many startups you work with.
Yeah.
Especially when, in many cases, startups don't have money. Often, the people running startups don't have money. They're quite poor in many cases.
I'm not sure what startups you're talking about.
Well, let's talk about that. What are you talking about?
The startups that I work with,
funded startups.
Yeah, funded startups,
got it.
venture-backed startups is what I typically work with.
Okay, got it.
I also work with self-funded startups, but again, they have ongoing cash flow.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was curious, not about whether there's help you can give.
Yeah.
But how you would even attract people who were in a position to have an ongoing retainer or fee or whatever.
That's a pretty important part of it.
Of course it is. So, okay. Not just so you get paid, but also so they can maintain.
Oh, yeah.
So that the work can get done.
Totally.
So,
yeah, that's right.
I'd love to know about the favorite part that you have about what you do. What is the part that... Actually, let's talk about both ends of it.
Okay.
What's the part of your work that drive you freaking mad? Just kills you. And then what's the part that all of a sudden fills the gas tank back up and you say, I forgot why I do this and I remember now? As if you ever forget.
Well, so I love my work. I love my work. And it's very extremely gratifying to be able to turn the light on for somebody and to sort of see and hear.
Moment.
Yeah, to see that moment. It happens over and over and over. And then also to hear back from them. They say, oh, your voice is in my head that I'm, going to do this. It's like 8, 10, 12 years later. That's really awesome and powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And to be able to be there for somebody in the time of need or crisis, it's really gratifying. And then also the intellectual challenge of like, what's going on over there? Like, what's happening with you that keeps happening? Like, I think it's very interesting. And it's also really interesting to be constantly wondering, what's the right tool for right now?
Yeah.
And to listen to that inner still voice that really helps guide me in terms of what's the right tool right now. It's like all of it is very rewarding and very satisfying, but especially when I can see that a group of people has been changed because of me.
It's interesting you say group of people too. So sometimes the change in one person can ripple through a butterfly effect through an entire group.
That's why I like to work with the CEO, because the CEO is the one who has that impact. But I also do team offsites and facilitation, and so you can see a group come together differently.
How do you deal with the wrong word? How do you work with people who, let's say, have a different way of thinking? For example, 2 of my team members are on the autism spectrum.
Oh, wow.
They're very high functioning. But consequently, they think quite differently than I do. They see the world differently. They process differently. In some cases, it causes communication difficulty. In some cases, it becomes a superpower. It depends on what we're dealing with. So I would imagine that working with people across a wide range of personalities, you develop a skill set and you learn how to handle different people and what they need and what they look for. But then there must be a major recalibration that needs to be made when you're working with someone, let's say, that's a high functioning on the spectrum or something like that.
Well, that's pretty extreme, right? That kind of behavior, or so as you say, like on the spectrum, is a little bit extreme in terms of what I normally would work with.
Okay.
But I think there are three things. Like number one, the most important thing is to build a relationship with that person. And you got to find a way to build a relationship in their language, not in your language.
Okay.
Number two, it's to figure out what's success for that person. What are the person's goals and dreams? What are they trying to get done? And see how you can find a way to feed into that to get wins from them. And then that's the best way to influence people, is to really figure out, how can I help you? And then the third is, what are their values? How can I motivate people to be helpful and supportive by way of values? Because some people value, I like to have fun in the workplace. Some people value, I want to have meaning and purpose in the workplace. Some people value, being able to have power and status. And none of those are bad, even if they're different from your values. But most of the time, people have different values at work than you do. And discovering what those are is really, really helpful in working with people.
If you had advice to give to somebody,
Yeah.
what would you say are your tools that you use to wake up in the morning and tackle a rough day, or get through a rough day? What do you tell someone, and what would you use?
Well, so I'm my best customer. Like I walk my talk every minute of every day. And I would say the tools that I use, certainly fitness every day. That's a big tool of mine, and it helps like reset the mood, because the person who wakes up in my pajamas is not the person I want to have to unleash into the world. So fitness every day is a very big tool for me. Also, really thinking about how your day is going to go, structuring and planning your day is very, very helpful. And also, what's the kind of self-talk that you want to consciously infuse into your head? So I might be like, I got to be someplace 8 in the morning, which means I woke up super early to work out, and I'm like not in a great mood, and I'm not so sure about this group or whatever I'm doing. And I consciously think about, listen, what is this about for you? And I know that one of my values is to make a difference, And so I'm thinking, don't be thinking it's 8 o'clock and it's traffic, I'm going to be late. Think about how you're going to make a difference for this group right here and right now. And for all of us to connect to those things, it just changes the way you work through life.
Absolutely.
All right, one last question from me.
Yeah.
And that is, here we are in Funny People Talking.
Here we are. So funny. So much talking.
What's that, Ben? You have something to say?
I was just going to say here we are, but I think,
okay. How do you think about humor in the work that you do? And I see it in at least minimally two different paths. One is how you yourself use humor or utilize humor for your own balance, as well as the way you communicate with people to help things open up, or maybe an icebreaker or whatever it is. And then especially in the earlier parts of getting to know someone. And then the other path I could see is teaching people or coaching people on how to utilize or integrate humor into work they do. I'm speaking separately than like encouraging people to try stand up or utilize improv. I'm talking about the actual nature of humor or comedy itself. Yeah. Do you have an answer for that?
Yeah, definitely. So one of my signature styles has to do with being kind of a little irreverent, and definitely not being corporate, and definitely being more casual and more informal rather than formal and corporate. And so humor is a part of that. Is that I can be irreverent and I can be funny and we can joke around. And when the coach shows up, it should be like taking your medicine. When the coach shows up, it should be the best hour of your day. And part of my ability to do that is like, I like to joke around, and joking around people is helpful. And it helps the process a lot more if we can have fun together.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Well put.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How can people connect with you, follow you, or get in touch with you?
They can follow me on Twitter. That's at Alisa Cohn, AlisaCohn. They can find me on LinkedIn. Go to my website, alisacohn.com, AlisaCohn. Ben, there are no E's in any of my names. None. No E's. I live in an E-free world.
You feel good about this.
I do. I'm empowered.
Cool.
Yeah, you are.
Nice.
Yep.
When I was growing up, my phone number was all even numbers.
Whoa.
All of the even numbers.
All the things.
There was a 2, a 4, a 6, an 8, and a 0.
Wow. He ran for the cycle over there.
I know.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Those zeros were tough, though, on those rotary phones.
Yeah, that's a time thing.
And for those of you who don't know what a rotary phone is, seriously, get a history book out.
I'm not even that
Look it
old,
up.
and I know what that is.
You know what a rotary phone is.
Of course, no, I do. I'm just saying, if you don't, come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Did you? I'm not. I have an inkling of how old you are, but don't actually know your age,
Right.
Ben?
No one does.
I mean, I have an idea, but I don't know the exact year.
And
Did you have a rotary phone growing up, or did you?
My
the push
grandma
button?
did.
Grandma
In one of the rooms. Everything else was a push.
Now, his grandma had one in one of the rooms.
yeah, he
and
was
it
clear
was-
about that.
I
It was
grew
a-
up with one. So
Yeah.
how's that?
Yeah.
Heavy.
No, he wanted to distance himself from you from the point of view of
No.
age. That was
Oh.
pretty clear.
I
That was
love the
intent. The intent was
You just
right
carry
there.
around all day, just like
yeah, it was a little aggressive.
I
His
do
answer
feel
was
that-
a little aggressive.
It was
Yeah.
comedically passive aggressive. I
Yeah.
feel,
I really didn't mean to come out that way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I
just-
like old
you
stuff.
were intending to straight old passive aggressive.
Intention versus impact,
I know.
as has been previously mentioned.
Well, I like those old phones. They're very
they're
heavy,
cool.
by the way. Extraordinarily.
Well
heavy.
made.
Yes.
And it sucked. You got like to the final number, and you missed dial, and you're like, "Damn it!" You
Son of
start
a-
all the way at
Yeah.
the beginning again.
Yeah, they don't make those anymore. They don't make microwaves good anymore. I don't know about it all.
Who knows?
Nah.
Gotta ask that, Mister
Nah.
Mud
Cap.
Cap. That's what it is. Anyway, Alisa, thank you so much for sharing so much about what you do. I'm really inspired by not just what you do, but the way you think about it and all of the insight you've brought in our little playlet here.
Thanks.
So I think
It was so fun to be here. I loved it.
Well, it ain't over yet because just
it ain't
after
over
this,
yet.
it's time for end of show food because it's the end of the show.
End of show,
So we'll
and
be
also food.
Right back after this with end of show food.
Connect with the show at Mouth Media Network or at our website, funnypeopletalking.com. And please, for the love of all that is holy, subscribe to the show and leave us a damn review and a really, really good rating on iTunes. Pretty please? Thank you.
All right. It's now this, and we're back. So, and it's the end of the show, which means end of show food. That's right, end of show food. So, since Elsie's not with us today, and Elsie normally does our end of show food, I've actually feel that with respect to Elsie, it's nice to. I don't see why our guest should have to suffer just because Elsie's not here. So, grabbed a couple.
I want the whole treatment.
Really fun thing. So what happens is normally on the show, Elsie searches far and wide, high and low, and everywhere she can go, online and physical stores, to find really interesting and different things for us to taste and experiment with. Sometimes it works out really well. Sometimes it's a little scary. Never really know. And the way that this works is we'll each have I'll explain what we have. Ben's preparing. Thank you. And
Thank you.
And then can I have the package so that I can read it if you don't mind? Thank you.
I hope it's not alligator sausage.
It's not.
Because I just had that.
It's not.
was
So
that?
in any
It's
event,
like chicken. Yeah.
so
That's why I eat.
so basically what we do is we taste it and hopefully we enjoy it. If we don't, we don't. And then we rate it on a scale of chickens.
Okay.
Every time.
Okay.
And so it's the number of chickens that scale is entirely up to you.
Okay.
And you don't have to be nice about it. And you can explain why your rating is and hopefully enjoy it. So today, in honor of Ben, because Ben, I know, maintains a pretty healthy regimen of food.
Yeah.
Often involving chicken, as we mentioned.
Yes.
I've decided to get Mighty Spark Chicken Snack Stick. It's 60 calories per stick, a pretty sizable and thick stick, actually.
Yeah.
It's cranberry and ginger flavored.
Wow. Super weird.
It's chicken
Super
that
weird.
never had antibiotics, no hormones. It's gluten free.
That's like the best part.
And it was even inspected by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, if that wasn't enough for you. And what I love is when you take the chicken stick out, there's a little thank you behind it, which just makes me feel good about the experience. So if you want to try your chicken stick, your ginger and cranberry, or is that what I said it was?
Here we go.
Cranberry
Down the
and
hatch.
ginger. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. That's not bad. It's, to me, it's a little Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah.
It almost has a little essence of a honey mustard situation.
It does.
Right?
It's
Right?
actually
There's
pretty good.
actual little cranberries in it.
Uh-huh.
Little,
That's good.
that was pretty good. I like
That's
that.
pretty good.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I'm giving it 11,682.3 chickens.
Out of?
Out of.
Oh.
You forgot that number. Just say 12,000.
Oh, what?
Just say like 12,000.
Well, is it supposed to be a high rating?
Out of
Did you really like it?
13,000.
Okay.
Oh, excellent.
That's
What
really
was the
good.
discounts for? What was the loss of points for?
You know, it just feels like processed food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I have to just take it on down a notch for that.
I feel on the scale of processed food, it's not exactly a banquet chicken dinner, but you know, it's definitely
Yeah.
in the processed area there. What about you, Ben? What's your
It was good. You get like 8 out of 10 chickens.
8 out of 10 chickens?
Yeah.
So with a little accent going to it.
Yeah, I thought the best part about it was when you said it was like gluten free and organic. That was the best part.
That was the best part.
Yeah, not
just
what was
knowing.
in it, but it was surprisingly tasty.
So in other words, if it tastes crap, at least you weren't putting crap in you as much as you could.
Hey, you know what? Rules to live by, folks.
I give this an 11 out of 14. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, but I did not. I felt like I wanted I want my wife to taste it, but I don't want to buy it again.
I feel like I want my wife to taste it is a great way to get out of stuff.
Yeah, I don't.
Taste this. Smell this.
I'm sorry. I think I'd rather have my wife taste that.
Yeah,
What were you
something
gonna
like
say,
that. I was going to say something like that.
Yeah.
It just feel we would unpack that.
You want your wife to taste it too?
I want your wife to taste it.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it for End of Show Food, and that is it for this episode of Funny People Talking. A big, big thank you to our new friend, Alisa Cohn, executive coach. Go check her out. Check out her website at alisacohn.com. That's ALISACOHN.com.
Thank you.
We're very grateful that you finally found a way to join us.
I
And
know,
it
so
was
fun.
Such a fun time. Learned a lot. Got inspired.
Absolutely.
So thank you. And
Thank you.
best of luck. And Ben Rose, my friend, such a delight to have you on the mic with me. It feels like riding a bike.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And thanks to Mr. Mudcap and to big and to Mickey and Billy for stopping by.
It's nice to see them.
Never know, we may see them again.
Yeah.
Until next time, everybody. Love to you, Elsie. Love to you, Danielle. We miss you both. And until next time, I'm Marc Rako. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time. And oh, by the way, stay funny.
Why? Why? Oh, yeah, I remember now. This is Funny People Talking. Copyright 2019. No portion of the content may be reproduced or published without the strict written permission of the producers. Connect with our show at Mouth Media Network or at our website, funnypeopletalking.com. I'm your announcer, Peter Coleman. Thanks for listening.
This is Mouth Media Network. Amplify and connect.